I always joke about how Cody is the most perfect person and how I basically imagined him into my life, but like I did. Me and Cody have been dating for 3 years. I honestly have no idea how I got so lucky to have someone come into my life that is so perfect for me and that I can't imagine my life without. We complement each other in so many ways, and honestly, he is my perfect match. The story of how he came into my life gives me chills just thinking about it, and is so special to me. The more I think about it, the more I know I manifested him into my life at the right place and the right time. Today I'm going to be sharing how I did this, our story, and how you can too. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be telling you guys about how I accidentally manifested my future husband. Yeah. Now, if you don't know what I mean by manifested, or anything about the law of attraction, you might want to see some of that stuff first. So if you don't know what the law of attraction is, there's tons of books, videos on it. It's basically how your thoughts attract things into your life. I didn't do this intentionally, it was kind of accidentally, but now looking back at it, when I look at it, I definitely did it. It was definitely the best accident that has ever happened to me, and I'm so glad that it happened, and we're gonna get married now, so I'm super excited. So the first part of this video is basically going to be the story of how I did it, and the second part is going to be my takeaways and how I did it. So like I break it down in steps of how I believe I achieved this, and how I was able to do this. I'm hoping to have this video released on Valentine's Day, so if I do, happy Valentine's Day. And I love Valentine's Day and how lovey everyone is, and even if you're not with someone, I hope this video gives you a little bit of inspiration and hope that your person's out there, and that when the timing is right, you will find them too. So if you guys find this video helpful or you like it, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. And without further ado, here is how I manifested my fiance. Now, this isn't the most glamorous story, but looking back at it, it's so special to me. This is a story I've been wanting to tell for a while, and this is a story that nobody knows. Like, not Cody, my fiance, or anyone. Nobody knows this. So this is my perspective for like when we came into each other's lives. So this will be interesting how people perceive this. So it started back when I started my last year of college, fall semester of senior year. So I'm giving you guys, just so you know, this whole story, everything has meaning to it. So every little part of the story is going to come and tie itself together eventually. So if it wasn't for all of these things lining up, I don't think this would have happened. So the beginning of the fall semester, this was going to be a very different semester for me because one, I was going into my senior year, and I really was determined this year to find out what I was going to do after college. So my day-to-day life in college was a little bit different. I felt like my first 3 years of college were definitely more social based, and this year I was very determined to focus on what I was going to be doing afterwards. So actually focusing on school, getting involved and stuff, and I really did it that semester. I was so proud of myself for that. Aside from doing all photography classes, I got involved with a lot of groups on campus, made some friends. I still hung out with a lot of friends. I had a great social life, but I had a really good balance this year. Really good balance. I felt good about myself, like I was in a good place. I had realized some of my dreams, and I realized that I needed to take action to make them happen, which included studying abroad. So at this time I was applying to study abroad. I also got invited on to be part of a grant that was going out to Colorado and South Dakota. So all these exciting things for me, and I was just in a really good place in my life. It was at this time that I had a guy that was trying to pursue me. And at this time I was not about it because I was focusing on myself, and quite honestly I didn't really see a future with this individual. He had some stalker-like tendencies and really did not have like the best intentions at heart, I felt. But due to his persistence, I continued to talk to him. This was simply just like a talking relationship. It wasn't a relationship, just like talking. I guess because he was talking to me, like, I don't know. But I really wasn't trying to pursue anything. I learned a very valuable lesson from this person. Because although I was doing such amazing things and I was so proud of myself for, you know, going after studying abroad, even though it was my last semester, and all these other things I was getting involved in with school. And whenever I would tell this person about that, about all the goals I was achieving and all the things I wanted to do after college, he would reply with, "Oh, you're so cute," or "You're so pretty," or "Look at your eyes." Like, he would never acknowledge any of the things that I was doing, any of the things I loved. It was all about looks. It was all about, it was really weird, and it made me realize, like, he was blind to, like, who I was as a person. Like, he didn't even, like, I was putting myself out there, trying to share myself, but, like, all he wanted to see was the outside, and it made me feel sick. It made me feel horrible. It really made an impact on me, and this is huge. This is a huge lesson in how I met my fiance then, because I remember going home after I had received this grant and telling this person about it, and him, like, just totally blowing it off and telling me I was pretty. And I went home. I remember sitting on my bed feeling like horrible, and I remember thinking, when I find my life partner, when I find my person, they are going to love me for me. They're going to see all the value I bring in the world. They're going to love my interests. They're going to love everything I do. They're not just going to see the outside. They're going to love and, you know, really love who I am as a person and see all my talents and see all the value I bring to the world. And I remember having this profound thought that I will never allow somebody to belittle me by only seeing my outside and not seeing who I am on the inside ever again. So that was a very impactful moment, and the fact that I had that profound thought, and I remember it to this day. I remember sitting on my bed, and it was, you know, it was a strong intention. In the law of attraction, people would say this is setting an intention. For me, you know, I remember it, and it was very, very powerful. I felt it. So because of this, I decided to distance myself from this person, but like I said, he had stalker-like tendencies, so he kept on trying to pursue me. Even farther and farther I pushed him away. I was trying to get involved in school again and all this stuff. Now I need to introduce you guys to someone else that was very impactful at this time, and her name was Winnie. Winnie, this is going to sound weird, I know it. It's going to sound weird, but she was also a huge stepping stone in my life. She was my personal astrologer. Now, I had known Winnie all throughout college. I actually never, like, I don't know her. She was from England, and I only knew her through email. I have no idea what she looks like, but I would occasionally get astrology readings from Winnie. And because she was doing all these readings for me, she had a lot of psychic connections to me because she was doing all this work on me. So she did a morning meditation every day, and sometimes what was going on in my life would come through to her, and she would send, if something big was going on in my life, it would definitely come through to her. And I knew, like, if I had like a really big day, I'd receive an email from Winnie saying, like, hey, this is going on, watch out, or all these different things. The accuracy of what she said to me some of the time scares me. Like, I don't understand it, I don't, but how accurate she was is crazy. Anyway, so it was at this time that she wrote to me saying that she saw a person coming into my life, a person that was going to be very well for me, and that I need to look out for it. And I told her, I'm like, you know, Winnie, I'm really trying to focus on myself right now. I really don't feel like I should be in a relationship, anything like that. And she wrote to me and she told me that she understood, but this would be part of, you know, my growth process, and if the opportunity presented itself, that I should take it. And she told me, I think I remember one of the lines she said, I see a life that only some people dream about coming to you, and this person is going to be a huge part of that. She also told me a couple things. She told me this person would be a Virgo, and the names Phyllis and Dylan came up. I didn't know a Phyllis, didn't know a Dylan. She also told me that this person is way closer than I think they are, like location wise, and a couple other weird things. But anyhow, because she said that, I decided to, it was only then that I decided to start putting myself out there a little bit more. So it was the time of the statewide state school strike, so a bunch of the state colleges were on strike because teachers were something with money and stuff like that, so we didn't have school for a couple of days. I was trying to stay away from the bar scene and trying to meet someone where maybe my interests were. So at the time I did a photo documentary around the strike that I was working on and stuff like that. It was at the time that I started taking up a little bit of online dating, kind of to pass the time, mainly because I wasn't being social at the bars and stuff like that. And I figured it wouldn't hurt and maybe I'd see somebody that I had some interest with. So when I was in my room working on this photo documentary, I remember getting a message on my phone, and the message was, "Hey Sammy, how's Goodstown treating you?" So it kind of caught me off guard because I didn't believe that I had swiped on anyone that I knew, but apparently this person knew me. So I clicked on their profile and looked into it, and I noticed that this person was somebody I went to high school, and they had just changed a lot. They had facial hair, didn't have facial hair before. I didn't even recognize this person, and I realized who it was, and it was actually somebody I had mutual friends with. In high school, we actually went to prom together, not as like dates, but we were like in each other's prom party, and we shared a limo and stuff like that. So we got prom pictures together, and so I knew this person very well, actually. Wasn't friends, but like good acquaintances, good mutual friends. So struck up a conversation, and we were talking about the strike because he went to a state school too, and we were just reconnecting, and you know, it was nice. And then I remember later that day I got a message from Winnie saying, "Yo, something happened today. I can feel it. Did you meet him? Did you meet this person I'm talking about? Like, something's going on. Like, I can feel it." So I remember I went to his Facebook profile to see when his birthday was, and here he was a Virgo. Like, she said there would be a Virgo coming into my life, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it was him. A little weird. But he was a friend, and I've always had trouble crossing the line between friends and going on a date kind of a thing. Like, it always felt kind of weird to me. But he did ask me out on a date, and we met back home for a date. Then I remember it was a Sunday, and we were at church the morning before, and I remember being so nervous, like I didn't know what to expect. And we have a little garden in the middle of our church, like a little patio area. It was fall, it was a gorgeous fall day, and I remember there being this bright yellow tree in the middle, and there was like a breeze going through my hair and stuff. I just felt like really connected, like, to the universe and stuff. And I remember thinking, you know, if this meant to me be, please let it be. Like, I don't know. I kind of like surrendered to the universe. I was like, I'm not sure what's supposed to happen. I'm not really looking for anything, but I trust you, universe. I remember like thinking this, and I remember thinking like, I trust you. I'm gonna let go, and I'm gonna let you show me what you have in store for me, if you have anything. So we went on a date, and it went pretty well, but it wasn't anything like love at first sight, like, oh my god, you're the one, right off the bat. Like, it wasn't anything like that. We were just getting to know each other, and it actually went really slow, and I was actually really unsure about it because I was really unsure of my feelings at the moment because of where I was in life. And I remember it took him 5 dates, I believe it was 5 dates, until he actually kissed me. So it went super slow. And I remember asking Winnie, because it was like, I know you said this is gonna be something special, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. Like, I felt very lost. I think I felt kind of stuck in like not the friend zone, but like I was having a hard time getting from friends to seeing a future with this person. I really wasn't quite sure what the purpose of all this was going to be. So I remember it didn't make sense until all at once. There was one night where we were hanging out and we were talking about like what we wanted to do after college, and I was telling him about all my dreams of what I wanted to do after school, and like studying abroad, and really going after photography and traveling and all the big dreams I had in the world and all the things that I wanted to do. I just remember him looking at me saying that he wishes he could do that, that he could be that brave, and that I'm gonna do amazing things. And I could really tell that one, he believed in me, and two, he really saw the value of who I was as a person. He acknowledged how goal-driven I was and how much I wanted to do in my life, and he wanted to be a part of that. Let's get this straight. This was a very short time frame for this all to happen. That happened in November, and I believe November, December, late November. And I believe when I was laying on my bed telling myself that thought of, you know, with who I wanted to have in my future was in October. So it's like a month, 2 months that this happened. It was at this moment that I realized, oh my god, I manifested you. Like, I manifested you into my life. I literally asked for you a couple of months ago, and now you're here. Oh my god. I started to see that there might have been more in this relationship than I had thought, and that there was a lot more to explore. And so I was just amazed that one, this has happened, and two, this was only the beginning of what was to come. So it was only then that he really got my attention. And like, okay, he sees me for me, he likes me, he likes who I am, and you know, he sees past like, you know, my face. He wants to get to know me, and he wants to he really sees the value of what I'm trying to put out there, and that's all I ever wanted. I wanted someone to see how much I had to offer. So this was only the beginning. So from this point on, we were both halfway through our senior year. From here, I feel like we both blossomed into like who we're supposed to be, and having each other as a backbone, I think, really helped propel us forward with who we were supposed to be. So together, we're really each other's backbone, and I really see the purpose of us being together now is not just for a good relationship, but for both of us to be the best people that we each can be. Even though we're both very different, we are each other's support system in every way. Through this process, I've learned that the universe doesn't bring you who you want, it brings you who you need, and Cody is everything I ever needed, and I am just so grateful for our relationship. Okay, so that is the story of how I manifested my husband, my future husband, and now let's break this down. So I wrote this down, and I broke it down into how I think I made this happen. So in combination of all these things together, I believe together it brought me to him at the right place at the right time. So the first thing is timing. Honestly, sometimes this is the one factor that you can't always control, I feel. So you may be dreaming of this person that you want to attract into your life and all that stuff, but I honestly think that the universe brings you who you need and not who you want. And sometimes you might need a person to teach you a certain lesson before you're ready for that perfect person that you want forever. And I can definitely say that because I've had several relationships that have taught me many lessons, that if I never had those relationships and those lessons, I would never be ready to be the person I am to be in a relationship with Cody. Even that one super toxic relationship where that guy taught me that what I want is somebody who really values who I am on the inside. If I didn't have that, I probably would have never had that really intense thought, intention that I put out to the universe that ultimately, I believe, brought Cody into my life. Okay, so first is timing. So this is the one factor you might not be able to control. Second point is a full mindset. There have been many times in my life where I wanted to attract a relationship and I wanted to manifest a relationship. I was in a very desperate mindset. Felt like if I didn't have it, I was going to die. I needed it now, and that is not what you want. At the time that I met Cody, I was in a very full mindset where, you know, I was working on myself. I didn't need a relationship at the time. Ultimately, I felt pretty whole with who I was. And, you know, they say whole attracts whole. So when you're a whole person, you're going to attract another whole person. Where if you're a desperate person that is needing something, you're going to attract those kind of people into your life. So the best thing to do is focus on yourself. The phrase that if you don't love yourself, how is anyone else going to love you, or how are you ever going to love someone else, is so true. I believe you need to really love who you are, really embrace who you are before that person can come into your life. So the second point is to take on a full mindset. The next step is to set a clear intention. So the universe isn't going to bring you what you want until you tell it. So that's what I'm saying. If I never had that really toxic relationship with that guy where I realized my future partner, whoever they are, whenever they are, will love me for who I am and see all the value inside of me and not all the stuff on the outside. So if I never was in that situation, I would have never had that thought, and that was a good thing about that relationship. So you don't need to be put in that place to have that kind of a thought though, but that's just how it happened for me. So set intentions. Tell the universe exactly what you want, and, you know, have a moment where you're not just thinking of it on the side. Like, I want this. A lot of people write it down, so that could work for you. Set your intentions that way. I've tried doing that before too, and that works. So just so happened for me this time, I said it in my head loud and clear to the universe. The fourth step is to visualize or to dream. So at this time in my life, I was in a very dream-like state. I was dreaming of what I was going to do after school, and like, honestly, the world was my oyster. I was visualizing and I had all these different dreams. So dreaming about it is a good thing. It'll help the process. And the last step that I did was I trusted the universe. I surrendered. I basically said, I can't control this situation. I don't know what you have in store for me, but show me. I'm willing to see it. So basically giving up control of what you're doing and say, show me, you know, what do you got? Like, so that's basically what I did the morning of our date. I said, I don't know what's gonna happen, but, you know, show me. And sure enough, something amazing happened. So trusting in the universe and trusting that things will work out and that they'll show themselves to you and that you can't control every situation. So that is basically what I have it nailed down to, is how I did this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the story of how I manifested Cody into my life. I'm so glad that he's in my life. So I hope you guys find these tips helpful, and happy Valentine's Day to you. I hope you guys are all with someone that you love, and if you're not, I'm sure there's a person out there dreaming of what their life is going to be like with you in it. So happy Valentine's Day, and thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe below to see more in the future. Alright, thanks guys, have a great day. Bye.